Daniel drove north until the highway narrowed and the gas station stopped and the trees came in close on both sides of the road. He had a sleeping bag in the back and a canvas duffel with 3 days of clothes and a cast iron pan he had not used in 2 years. He did not have a destination. That was the point. He had left the apartment at 4 in the morning. He did not leave a note. There was no one to leave a note for, not anymore. The divorce had been final for 6 months. The company he had spent 11 years building had been sold 8 months before that. He had not planned it that way. The two things had fed each other the way bad things do, quietly and for a long time, until they were both finished. He pulled off at a state forest access road and drove until the gravel turned to dirt and the dirt turned to ruts, and then he stopped. He sat with the engine running for a moment. Then he turned it off. The silence was immediate and total, and it felt like pressure against his ears. He got out. The pines were tall, and the ground under them was soft with decades of needles. It was the second week of October, and the cold came in through his shirt when he stood still. He pulled the duffel from the back seat and the sleeping bag and the pan, and he walked into the trees. He found a clearing near a stream. The stream was low and ran over flat grey stones. He set his things down and stood there. He built a fire, the way his father had shown him when he was 9 years old. Dry bark first, then small sticks, then larger ones. He had not built a fire in a long time, but his hands remembered. The smoke went straight up through the canopy. There was no wind. He ate beans from a can he heated in the pan. They were not good, but he was hungry, and he ate all of them. After, he sat close to the fire and looked at it. He thought about the office on the 14th floor, the view of the river, the way the conference room smelled in the morning, coffee and carpet and something electric from all the screens. He had been good at that life. He had been very good at it. That was the thing he kept returning to, sitting there in the dark with the fire burning down. Not that he had failed. He had not failed. He had won the thing he was trying to win, and then looked at what he had won and felt nothing he recognized. Sarah had told him, near the end, that she felt like she was married to a building. Not a man, a building. He had not argued with her. In the morning, he woke cold inside the sleeping bag, and the fire was grey ash. The stream was loud in the silence. He lay still for a while and watched the light come through the trees. It came in pieces, slow and pale, and the frost on the pine needles caught it and held it. He made coffee in the pan, the cheap grounds he'd bought at a gas station 200 miles back. He drank it, standing up, looking at the stream. On the second day, he walked. He walked for 6 hours through the forest and did not check his phone. The phone was in the duffel, and the duffel was back at the camp. He had left it deliberately. He noticed after the 3rd hour that he had stopped composing things in his head. Emails, responses, arguments he had won and arguments he had lost. They had been running in him like a motor for so long he had stopped hearing them. Now he heard the stream, the wind in the high branches, a woodpecker working at something dead and dry. On the 3rd morning, he sat by the water and took out the small notebook he had brought and did not know why he had brought. He held the pen for a while. Then he wrote one line. He did not write about the company or Sarah or the apartment or any of it. He wrote, "I want to know what I actually want." He looked at the line. Then he closed the notebook. He broke camp slowly. He put out the fire with water from the stream and made sure it was cold. He packed the duffel and rolled the sleeping bag and carried everything back to the truck. Before he got in, he stood at the edge of the trees for a moment. The pines were quiet. The cold was clean, and it went into his lungs when he breathed, and it felt like something being cleared. He put the duffel in the back. He put the pan in the back. He got in the truck and sat with his hands on the wheel. He did not start the engine right away. Then he reached into his jacket pocket and took out his phone. He looked at it. 41 notifications. He turned it face down on the seat beside him. He started the engine and sat there while it warmed. The trees stood in the mirror. The frost was burning off the ground in the early light. He put the truck in gear and drove south. Not because the south had answers, because he was ready now to ask the questions. That was the difference. He could feel it the way you feel a change in weather, somewhere in the chest, quiet and certain and already begun.